Hello, my name is Tara Holtz-Wagner, and I'm the advisor in the Department of Life Sciences Communication. And I'm excited to share a little bit of information today about our major and some of the things that our students are doing after graduation. So first, thinking about science communication. So sometimes people think that science communication is just translating science information, or simplifying it, or if we just educate the people, that will solve our problems. However, research shows that that's not exactly what works. So how do we get people to care about climate change or wear a mask during a global pandemic? Those are the kinds of questions we're looking at. So thinking about science through artificial intelligence and new technologies, to climate change, to health issues and global pandemics, to food and agriculture, kind of all across the board, especially controversial topics. How do we communicate about them? How have we done so in the past? How has it worked or not? How have people gotten their information about science? And then how does that influence their personal decisions, their actions, and then also how can that impact policy decisions as well? So here are a few examples of what some of our research projects can look like in LSC, going from a very global scale to a very local scale. So we're studying disaster management communications in Peru and Bangladesh in particular. So how are we getting information in a crisis to people as effectively and efficiently as possible? Looking at a national study of how people's perceptions of human genome editing. So very new technology, very exciting, but also how are people hearing about it? What are their concerns? Because we need to know both the pros and cons of this technology, and hearing from the public of how they're hearing about these things can be really important. And then at a more localized scale, we're starting a project in collaboration with other colleagues on campus, looking at engaging more stakeholders from different communities in clean energy decisions. So something that works maybe here in Madison might not be the same approach that's going to work in a rural community in Wisconsin. So how do we make sure that community stakeholders are involved in these decisions? And then at an even more local scale, we've been doing a lot of work with the Dane County Public Health Department and recommendations for colleges and campuses to try to think about how do we get people to take risk-reducing behaviors. So how do we get students to wear masks, or the citizens of Madison to physically distance, limit interactions with others during this crisis and really important time. So then thinking about the academics in our major, something really exciting is that a lot of our classes are between maybe 20 and 50 students. And so you can get to know your faculty members really well. And these are some of the top researchers in the world for science communication. And a lot of them also have very practical experience, on-the-job experience that they're teaching based on this expertise. So we have people who have worked and consulted for the World Health Organization, working in biotechnology companies, owning their own marketing or videography companies. And all of these people come together in our department to teach our students about science communication. You're also able to take advantage and get involved in a lot of our research projects based on your interests. And we also have an honors and major program for students who are interested in getting that advanced work closely with professors in the classroom, and then also on a research project and thesis at the end of your career. Something that's really important and a key component of the LSC degree is that it's really customized based on your interests. So I mentioned some of the different fields of science that we might be studying, and our students are studying the same things. So we have about 48% of our students are double majoring in things from genetics and physics, environmental science, to psychology and political science, really based on what their end goal is after graduation. A lot of them are also participating in certificate programs, which is what UW-Madison refers to as basically a minor. So those are in global health, entrepreneurship, digital studies, again, all across the board and really specific to a student's interests. And even the curriculum in LSC is customized based on your interests. So everyone goes through a science writing course, science media and society, a research methods course. And then from there, you're choosing classes based on your interests. So maybe you're really interested in communicating through video or social media, or photography, or thinking more about marketing as a tool for communicating about science, or risk and crisis communication, and how do we do that most effectively? So you can choose maybe a more focused path in one of those areas, or you can choose to kind of dabble in each of them to make yourself really well-rounded and have a lot of different experiences during your time in the major. And then a number of our students are also pursuing maybe graduate school, professional school, so like medical school or veterinary school after graduation. So their curriculum might also include some courses that are needed to get into those programs. And so that's kind of how you make your comprehensive academic plan when you're in LSC. And then a few more ideas of what people might do after graduation. This is just a very small kind of set of folks, but you can see from the slide that there's a lot of variety in what they are doing. So we have people going into genetic counseling programs, like I mentioned, medical school, veterinary school, law school, folks that might be running communications within something like the Medical College of Wisconsin or by maybe a biotechnology company. Bella, who's listed on the screen, works for an environmental advocacy agency, people working in agriculture and communications, people working for federal organizations like the Environmental Protection Agency, or maybe even nonprofits like the Wisconsin Alliance for Women's Health, or more government agencies like the Department of Natural Resources. It's really vast and varied because our students are choosing so much of their own curriculum and they're getting involved in internships, and you're supported all along the way. So everyone has both an academic advisor who helps you with course selection and kind of initial career conversations, but then also a faculty mentor in our department. So they're also another source that's like there for you to talk to you about careers, get support along the way. So you're never alone in making all of these decisions. We support you as you explore and discover things on your own. So the next thing you'll see as part of this video are some snapshots from some of our students talking about why they chose to study life sciences communication during their undergraduate degree. So to give you a little bit more of the student perspective.
I had a passion for writing from an early age, and I wanted to integrate it into my environmental ambitions.
The reason I chose my major in life science communications is because I really enjoyed science, but as I started out my time here at UW-Madison, I realized I enjoyed writing about science more than I did the actual scientific research, which life science communications provides the perfect outlet for.
I personally chose to double with LSC because I saw it as a way to improve my personal communication skills, but also further the impact of my microbiome research. The reason is because LSC really plays to how to effectively communicate scientific research across greater populations outside of academia. It really focuses on diversifying communication across different medias, in different ways, and to different types of people.
Life science communications actually helps me to better understand how people are going to read that information in the different ways that they might actually process that said information that I want to provide.
LSC has given me the opportunity to explore videography and photography, which I'm now hoping to do as a career.
Literally anyone can use LSC to their benefit. So definitely say if you're considering it, check it out, ask questions. You're gonna love it. It's definitely something that everyone can learn from.